live. Look at it. It's the same exact crew. If you were if you were on my Twitch earlier, it's the same exact crew who was reacting to the PlayStation showcase, in which we will be discussing. I can't fucking speak today, but anyone else who pops up, maybe as well. Ryan was supposed to join us, but he decided not to join us because he'll be doing a trailer trash live thing to many of the trailers that were in the PlayStation showcase. So go check that out when that happens. But as for who is here, you got me, of course. You got Greg, the video game nut.
Hello, people. My voice is recovered from earlier.
Yep. If you guys seen any of our reaction videos go up, or my short on my new shorts channel, DPX Solo Shorts, go subscribe to that. You should know me and Greg, more so Greg, lost our minds over a specific game that we'll talk about later. And ML is also here. How you doing, ML?
Hello, I mean steak.
Nice. What kind of steak? Is it is it rare or medium or?
I think it's medium.
Okay.
That's a steak should be cooked. If it's too well done, then
Yeah.
hard to eat.
We're not. Well, I don't know why I asked you that, because we're not here to talk about steak. We're here to talk about the PlayStation showcase. There was a lot of hype going into this, especially since it was the first PlayStation showcase since 2021, since like September 2021, and we were talking about this earlier. The episode in which we covered that, fuck off. Why is Discord making noise? Go away. The episode of Chill with the Miikcast where we covered the last PlayStation showcase was ML's first episode. Like, that's how long it's been. But yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get right into this. We're starting off with Haven's new game called Fair Games, or Fair Game Dollar. They showed us a CG trailer, and yeah, that's really, it seems to be like this multiplayer shooter. That's a bit of a trend we have going on in this showcase, as we will see. Some multiplayer games, some CG only trailers, and some cutesy indie games that, while I don't want to bash on them, I don't really know what they're doing at a big showcase like this. But I feel like I can't really say much about Fair Games, because it's like, what even is this game? But yeah, Greg, what do you think about Fair Games?
Feels maybe a little bit too new, like considering we just, went head on with this reveal. I think we need a little bit more time, before we find out what it really is. And considering the fact it wasn't just cinematic, no gameplay.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if it was, did it say like it was coming out this year? Emma, what did you think about Fair Games? If you're there.
Like Greg said, I think it needs a little more time before we have like an opinion on it.
Yeah.
Just need a little more info.
Yeah, it didn't even have like a release date, I don't think. It just says see you soon. I just feel like that was a weird way to start the showcase, Like, yeah, I was like, why would you start it with this new IP, with a CG trailer, so we have no reference of what this game is like at all? It's just weird. So yeah, any final thoughts on Fair Games?
Not really, just we need more time.
Yeah, okay. Next up is another online shooter that had this sort of weird, like, it looked really cool, the visuals. Helldivers 2. To be honest, I feel like I've heard of the first Helldivers, but, like, I'm not gonna pretend I know what Helldivers is. We got this, like, another multiplayer shooter. At least it looked like that. If it's a single player game, then I don't know what the fuck they were showing. They did show some gameplay, and I will say that the gameplay looked kind of good. Looking at it, it's like, but also it seems like it's in-engine gameplay. Like it doesn't seem like it's not the person actually playing the game. It's like it's kind of like showing you how the game is gonna be played. You know what I mean? Greg, thoughts on Helldivers 2?
Looks solid. Just I don't know if it's gonna be the kind of game I'm gonna probably play.
Yeah. ML, thoughts on Helldivers 2?
It looked pretty cool, as everything else, as everything that was shown looked kind of cool. But yeah, I'm not. It's not really my game. As Greg said, I'm not really like a you said it was a shooter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not really much of a shooter person. That sounds wrong. I'm not much of a first-person shooter type of player.
Yeah. See, off to a weird start. Then we get a look at Immortals of Avium. This game got like, I remember it got a trailer like a few months ago, and a lot of content creators were kind of pumping it a little bit. Like, I think they got a bag to promote the game, if you know what I mean. It looks interesting. I'll say it definitely does look good and all, but okay, ML had to step out, so but it does look good. I don't know if it's a game that I will play though. Greg, thoughts on Immortals of Avium?
It looks fun and solid, but then again, I agree with you with, I don't know if it's the kind of game for me. But
Yeah.
we will see when we get more info.
And ML stepped out, so I'm not gonna ask him. Then we get Ghost Runner 2. Now, I never played Ghost Runner 1, but I've been meaning to play it because it does look really cool. And like, this cool cyberpunk kind of game. And I'd say that this was pretty cool. Because I knew that Ghost Runner 2 was is scheduled to come out this year. I've been looking at like lineups for games that are meant to release this year. And Ghost Runner 2 shows up on there a lot. But what the fuck? We didn't know anything about it, but now it's coming out. I still do need to play the first one. I think it was like free on either Game Pass or the PS Plus Premium or Extra tier, whatever the fuck it was. So yeah, I definitely gotta play that. And then maybe I'll check out Ghost Runner 2. Greg, thoughts on Ghost Runner 2?
From all the games up until now, I think this was the first solid one we were able to take like a good look at. Like, this genuinely looked fun. Like, you guys still got to play number 1 as well.
Yeah, and like, even if they didn't show a whole lot of gameplay, at least like it's a sequel. I mean, Helldivers 2 is a sequel, true, but like, it's still a sequel, so you have a bit of a reference as to what it's like, and that's kind of interesting that a lot of games are like, you notice that a lot of the sequels that are coming out this year, there's like a 5-year like gap in between releases. ML's back. Hi, ML. It's like a 5-year gap in between releases. Like, it doesn't feel like Spider-Man on PS4 came out 5 years ago, but it did. It doesn't feel like Breath of the Wild came out 6 years ago, but it did.
That's crazy.
It doesn't feel like Final Fantasy 15 came out 7 years ago, but it did. You know what I mean? So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Ghost Runner 1, it came out 3 years ago, and we're getting a sequel already. Like, it's so weird that it's rare that we're getting a game and then 3 years later we get a sequel. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't mean they're rushing it, but like, yeah, we spent a lot more time talking about Ghost Runner 2 than I thought we would. But yeah, moving on, We got an interesting new game. At first, I thought it was Silent Hill. Then I thought it was Ghost of Tsushima. Then I thought it was Rise of the Ronin. But then we found out it was this game called Phantom Blade. This one seems interesting. It's about some like samurai who like has 66 days to live, or else his heart will explode. Or it seems interesting. PlayStation seemed to be going hard on a lot of the samurai games, but like I can't say I'm getting sick of them because they all look really good. It's kind of like how that Nintendo Direct a few months ago had all those farming simulator games. Except farming simulator games, for the most part, unless they're called Stardew Valley, are boring. So, and samurai games, for the most part, are really fucking cool. I'd rather play a game where I am a samurai than a game where I'm fucking a lawn person. A lawn person. But yeah, Ghostblade looks really cool. It is a little strange how we have three samurai games coming out. I say that like we have official word on Ghost of Tsushima too, but we really don't. But it's gonna happen. But yeah, this does look really cool. And we did get a good look at it. It's not like we didn't get gameplay. We did get quite a bit of gameplay, and a lot of the mechanics, a lot of the combat. Like there's a moment where your character like dodges an attack by like going behind a pole, and that looked really cool. Yeah, I'm not. Greg, what thoughts on Ghostblade?
I really like the gameplay. This is definitely gonna, make the system self. It's like console exclusive.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if it's gonna sell systems. I don't know if it's gonna sell consoles. But it looks really cool. ML, thoughts on Ghost or Phantom Blade? Have I been saying Ghost Blade this whole time?
Phantom Blade.
Cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like the whole like samurai theme going on. So and the gameplay also looks really fun too.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for this, and yeah. Moving on, we got a weird game. See, this is what I mean by like we have a whole bunch of weird games. We got Swords of the Sea. It's like some fucking surfing game with a sword. And it's made by the same people who did Abzu, the Pathless, and Journey. So three pretty solid games right there. Journey is like critically acclaimed, so that's one. And it's weird though, like we don't really get gameplay for this. It's just we just get to see like animation almost. I don't even know if I can call it CG. I guess yeah, technically CG, but like yeah, I don't know. Greg, thoughts on Swords of the Sea?
Nothing too crazy, just I'm sure it will sell.
Yeah, ML, thoughts on Swords of the Sea? ML?
I thought it looked good. I thought it looked good.
Yeah.
It looked really pretty.
Yeah.
The game, the graphics and everything.
See, they all look good. This game definitely looked good, but it's like what my problem is this doesn't feel like a game that should have been in this big showcase. It could have just been in a state of play or just a press release.
Yeah.
But yeah, next up we got the Talos Principle. This is a sequel to the Talos Principle, a game I don't really know anything about, but I do remember it was on that like a sequel to the Talos Principle was on that NVIDIA leak that leaked a whole bunch of games, and so far it's gotten a fuck ton of them right. So This looks interesting. We don't really get. Do we get? Yeah, we don't really get any gameplay. It does have a release date of 2023. So this is apparently going to come out this year. Uh, but yeah, Greg, thoughts on the Talos Principle 2?
It looks really good for what it is. Not gonna lie. I don't know if I'll be getting around to playing it, but I'm sure it's gonna, do good.
Okay. ML, thoughts on Talos Principle 2?
I don't know much about, it, but I hope it does good.
Okay.
Hope it's successful.
Next up is uh, Neva. It was the game with the with that wolf deer.
With the wolves,
Would you say it
with the
was
dead wolves. It was the Kierans.
The Kieran, yeah. This looked really cool. But that's it. That's all we got. We didn't really get any gameplay. See a pattern here, guys? Thoughts on Neva? We'll ask ML first, because you're an artsy guy, and this would look pretty artsy. So
Wait, is that the one that was like the animal died?
yeah,
Yeah, it was that one.
Oh, you know what it reminded me of? That one like Disney animation film from like I think like the 70s.
Bambi.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Bambi was from like the 40s, but
Oh, the
yeah,
forest. Oh,
the one where the deer dies.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Bambi.
Yeah. That looks really cool. Looks really cool.
Yeah.
I think it was it. Let me see it again. Yeah, it looks really cool. I really like the sunset and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The lighting.
Greg, thoughts on Neva? Neva? I'm never playing.
Yeah,
This.
just there's a lack of gameplay, but I like the concept. We will see more eventually.
I don't mean I'm never playing this. I just wanted to make a pun with the name. Next up is another weird game, but I'll be honest, it does look pretty interesting. Cat Quest: Pirates of the Caribbean. Alright, we all love cat puns, don't we?
Yes, the one that looks like a mobile game.
Yeah, I sure hope it's not a mobile game, but it's coming to PS4, PS5 in 2024. It looks interesting. It does kind of look like a mobile game, but at the same time, I feel like this almost looks like it could be like an indie darling. I feel, I don't know. It looks interesting. Greg, I think you already just said your thoughts. It kind of looks like a mobile game, right?
Basically.
ML, thoughts on Cat Quest: Pirates of the Caribbean? It's not good that I already kind of forgot the name of it. But yeah, thoughts? Well,
That's cute. It's cute. It's cute. Like I guess a mobile game.
yeah. All right. Now the next game is probably one of the weirdest games I think I've ever seen. Probably ever. Square Enix, everyone's favorite JRPG company, is making.
Yeah, we thought it was Final Fantasy, but it's not.
They're making a shooter called Foam Stars, which is basically Splatoon.
Basically,
You have to shoot, not ink, a foam. You have to shoot foam to cover most of the turf, and the one who has the most foam covering the most space on the turf wins.
that's
Right?
Turf Wars basically from Splatoon. That's
Yeah.
basically the whole game.
Yeah.
Or one of the bigger games.
Here's my issue with all these multiplayer live service games, because let's be real, like this game, what was the first game that they showed? Fair Games, Helldivers 2. They're all gonna be live service games. Here's the thing about these. I know Sony is like, they really wanted to get into the live service games, and I think we're seeing the effects of that here, because but it's still missing like the Last of Us factions and Twisted Metal. which I thought was pretty bizarre. But regardless, my issue here is they're doing all these live service games, but um, remember like earlier this year where like all those live service games got discontinued, like it was within the span of a week. Live service games aren't going to be around for much longer. So
Nah.
my issue here is they're putting all this money and resources into these games for a model that's dying out. But that's just what I think. Greg, thoughts on foam stars?
Honestly, to say, I think when I said Final Fantasy, we were like, bamboozled. But
I did
then
not.
again, it's just, I know you didn't, but I did. Just, I have a feeling that, honestly, it's gonna die really quickly.
Yeah.
It could have been done better. Just, this is Splatoon for people who are on a budget and don't have a Nintendo console.
To be fair, I'm saying live service games are dying out. But to be fair, I consider Splatoon a live service game, and
Except Nintendo does it right.
and one of the few ones to do it right.
Well, then again, Nintendo killed Super Mario 35 because of time, and they're killing Pac-Man 99 in like the fall.
Yeah, but they're not doing that with Splatoon. ML, thoughts on foam stars?
A knockoff of Splatoon. Nothing more to say.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to see more of that. If it's like a really different thing from Splatoon. I don't know what people thinking now are thinking.
Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I can actually maybe see this as like a PS Plus extra game. I can see that. And if that's the case, I will play it because it's free. I would not pay for this game though. I'd just play Splatoon instead. Next up, we get another indie game, but this time it's one that I'm actually quite looking forward to. We got the Plucky Squire. I remember this was at Devolver's showcase last summer, and it looked really cool. It's like this artsy looking game where it's like the whole game, like aesthetically, it's one of the most aesthetically unique looking games I think I've ever seen. Like the whole game basically takes place inside of a book until you're able to jump out of the book, and now you're like, it looks really cool. I would have liked a hard release date instead of just 2023, but we'll take what we can get. This is pretty cool. Devolver remembers that they're coming out with this game because they did kind of go dark on it since they revealed it. But Greg, thoughts on the Plucky Squire?
I really like the gameplay. It reminded me a lot of A Link Between Worlds, which was one of my
Yes,
favorite games on the 3DS growing
that's
up.
what you said, yeah.
Nah, and also the art style is like really, really good. I have high hopes for this one.
Yeah. And ML, thoughts on the Plucky Squire?
It looks really cool. Like how it works. You go from like it's like 2D, 3D, or wait.
Yeah, no, it kind of looks like it
Yeah.
goes from 2D, like a 2D Zelda, to like a 3D top-down Zelda almost.
Yeah, I really like that concept. Kind of remind me of the Paper Mario for the Wii, where you go in 3D.
Yeah.
Kind of remind me.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
like 3D was kind of like limited in that game,
Yeah.
it was.
See, whenever they release this game, I think I'd be down for it, unless it comes out the same day as like another big game that I'm more excited for. I hope that doesn't happen, but like, who cares? Anyways, next up we got this game Teardown. I'm looking at the list. I don't even. Oh no, this was the game that looked like that we thought was Minecraft.
Yeah, it's Minecraft or
and
Pixel Gun 3D.
and then Legos, and then Pixel Gun. It kind of looks like a mix of all all those things. It's called Teardown. Again, I don't know why this is here. Like the PlayStation Showcase is supposed to be like Sony pulling out all the stops. You know what I mean? Like the last time they revealed Spider-Man 2, they revealed the KOTOR remake, which might not ever come out, Sag, but and then they revealed the Wolverine game. So they go absolutely nuts with these. Why is this here? You know, it looks cool, I guess, but it's like that's not why I tuned into a PlayStation showcase. Greg, thoughts on Teardown?
Interesting choice to like throw in, honestly, and especially considering they just smashed a Minecraft PS5 at the end just to let us know it's coming.
Yeah. ML. Thoughts on
You started
Teardown?
there.
Huh?
You started there a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, though was a I forgot like I guess like yeah, it does really look like Minecraft, especially like the way he moves and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Crafty. Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know what to like think about that, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's very weird.
yeah,
It's odd.
yeah, it's a weird game to show here. You know what I mean? So now the next game.
And this is a big one.
Greg, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so the next one I think has got to be my favorite. Well, these two are here to hear me scream like a child.
Yes.
And after 5 years of nothing, Metal Gear Solid is officially back. We have Snake Eater, or as I should say fully, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the full-on remake of the game.
Can I
And on top of that,
Can I interrupt you for a
What's up?
second?
sure,
You said after 5 years. We don't count Metal Gear Survive. It's been
fine.
it's been 8 years, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's 8 years, not
8 years.
counting Survive.
All right, sorry. Continue.
Fine, so not counting Survive 8 years, and we finally get to see Snake Eater remake as Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. And on top of that, this fall, we are getting the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games back in an entire collection known as Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, which contains Solid 1, 2, and 3, likely Metal Gear 1 and 2 as well, and maybe VR missions for Solid 1 for all we know. But this actually does not rule out possibility of other games like Metal Gear Solid 4 with like Volume 2. There's honestly a whole ton to look forward to with the franchise, and I absolutely cannot wait to see it all. I'm so happy to be here for it. Not
Honestly,
gonna lie.
With the Master Collection, they don't really need to add anything else to that one. Like I feel like Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 just being re-released is big enough. Like that,
I'm sure they're
honestly
throwing
think,
the other stuff.
I honestly think like that's worth $60 right there. You know,
Nah, that's definitely gonna be worth like any price tag, honestly,
like
with whatever
I
they
don't know
put
if
it
they'll
at.
charge 60. Knowing Konami, they're either gonna charge 70 or they'll actually put it at a budget price.
Hopefully budget,
But-
considering all the new fans and players.
But like that's good. That I think that's worth 60. Those are 3 crazy games. And
2 of them were in copyright jail since like 2021.
yeah. And yeah, that was crazy. Like we were watching that, and it started off with like a bunch of ants. Then it went to a bird.
Yeah.
Then it went to
Then it went to alligator.
alligator.
I mean, in a
and then an
sense,
anaconda.
it's like the survival.
Then an anaconda fighting the alligator. Then it zoomed over, and then we hear ML being like, "Yo, is that Snake?" And
Then I just fucking burst.
yeah,
Probably the most hype reveal ever.
yeah.
This beats out any Smash reveal for me.
Well, I don't know about that for me personally, but well, that's just me. You know, we have different opinions, but yeah. I've always kind of been a little pessimistic about I don't know if pessimistic is the right word, but I've always been a little like doubtful about any of Konami's franchises coming back. Not that I wouldn't like to see a new Silent Hill, Metal Gear, Castlevania, but it's because I almost don't want to, because this is not the same Konami that made some of our favorite games. It's just not the same company. But you know, I got a little bit of hope after seeing that Silent Hill 2 remake actually exists. But it wasn't at this showcase, and I really thought it was going to be. So maybe it doesn't actually exist, and I was right all along. But no, but if now this game Snake Eater needs to be good.
I'm sure it's gonna be, not gonna lie, with like all the visuals.
I know.
And they said they're gonna involve the gameplay as well.
I know. It's just I don't completely trust Konami. That's the only thing. And like they got one step done. All right, they're at the point where the game exists. Well, they're at the point where they announced the game. Now the game needs to come out. I mean, like, they don't come out right the fuck now, you know. But, like, the game has to come out. That's another step. And it has to be good. ML, thoughts on Snake Eater remake?
My reaction was it my live stream was like where it was like 10 seconds ahead, so I can avoid it for these two.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, I think your it was weird because I think later on you ended up getting way further ahead because when you said, "Is that Snake?" Like it was like the next second he showed up for me and I think for Greg as well. I think me and Greg were like,
Yeah, we were the only ones that had the same stream.
yeah. Also, by the way, I know you guys are gonna comment. Oh, it's not Snake. That's Big Boss. I know.
Yeah, even Twitter is getting it wrong still. And of course, there's the MGS2 meme that keeps on going.
But yeah.
You're a solid fan, so I wouldn't have known. So.
Yeah. No, I'm not correcting you. I'm just saying, for everyone correcting us in the comments, I know. All right. And so does Greg. Greg's more of a Metal Gear. Greg's more of a Metal Gear fan than I am.
Nah, I've been just keen on the leaks since they, were first coming out. And the point that we're at, that, it's all coming together, is just surreal.
Yeah. I'm happy it's Snake Eater getting this treatment, because Snake Eater, I believe, is the best Metal Gear game. I originally thought it was the first one, but again, it's the PS1. That it's not aged very well. Although I feel like the first Metal Gear Solid is definitely aged better than most PS1 games. But so I kind of think that one kind of needs a remake more than Snake Eater. But Snake Eater has been stuck on the PS2. And also in the Metal Gear Solid HD collection for like Xbox 360 and PS3, which I've actually been trying to get for myself.
Might not be a need for that soon.
Yeah, but true. And yeah, so finally get to play Metal Gear Solid 1 pretty soon again. Finally get to play Metal Gear Solid 2 soon again. Metal Gear Solid 1 has been re-released quite a few times. 2 and 3 this is like, aside from like the HD collection, this is the first time they're getting re-released, right?
In a while, and that's, I don't think, counting the NVIDIA versions that were on there.
Yeah. Did you just pronounce it NVIDIA?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. But yeah, ML
NVIDIA
thoughts,
it's two ways.
Yeah.
We'll go ML.
Sorry, what?
Thoughts on the Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 being like in a collection coming out sometime.
Rico, I don't have a PS5 yet, so I'll probably
might not need. It might come to Switch. You never know.
Maybe if it comes to Switch, then sure, I'll play it. Why the hell not?
Yeah,
it's a good.
Sorry.
It's a good game, so why is a lot of people love it.
Yeah, I don't think the remake is coming to Switch, but I think the collection could easily come to Switch.
Nah, the collection definitely.
It's like a stealth game?
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid's like a stealth
tactical espionage action.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, even Konami describes it like that on the Snake Eater Delta website.
The only thing, I knew I didn't think they're gonna call it Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Why are they calling it Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater?
Probably, I know Delta in like Greek means like change, so it could be a sense of like, change in general. I mean, general, same story, similar mechanics and whatnot, just enhanced.
I know, but it's like, why not? Why don't you just fucking call it Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater? Why include the Delta? And plus, that's the actual title, by the way. Like, So let's just say I want to type it out. There's no fucking Delta key on my keyboard. So
Just copy and paste. That's all I gotta
yeah,
say.
first world problems. Everyone feels my pain. But
Yep.
yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Final thoughts?
I think
It's gonna be
everything's
great. We are living in a surreal time.
Yeah, ML, what were you saying?
everything that was said needs to be said. So,
Yeah, and
yep.
then final thoughts on the Master Collection.
It's a day one pickup for me.
Yep, same here. Um, all right, next up, we get this game. You know what? They were doing this thing where every few games they would do an intermission with the, the PlayStation symbols. Uh, they should have done that after Metal Gear Solid 3, just cause we go right into this next game, and I think we were all kind of like still high on Metal Gear Solid, that we didn't even like realize what this one was. Um, it is Towers of whatever the fuck, Agazba. But it did look cool. It was the game that looked like Breath of the Wild or Horizon. I say more so Horizon than Breath of the Wild, even though Breath of the Horizon is quite a bit like. No, actually, Horizon came out before Breath of the Wild. Huh. But
Yeah,
did
about like a few days.
yeah, but
Earth.
whatever. It does look more like Horizon. It looks pretty cool, but it comes out in 2024, and Dreamlit are doing this. That name sounds familiar, but I don't know what they did before. But yeah, any thoughts on this, Greg? On Towers of Algagagag? Any thoughts on that?
Bruh, none of us can read the title. I think that's one thing we can agree on. None of us can read the title correctly,
Yeah.
but it looked decent. I just feel we need to see more.
Yeah, same. Although we can't say we didn't get gameplay for this, because we did get gameplay for it.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely a little bit, but we need more. Determined.
ML, thoughts on Towers of? I'm not making the same joke again. Just Towers. Thoughts on Towers? Mo?
On me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked really cool. I like the gameplay looked really smooth, especially the gun mechanic. It
Mm-hmm.
reminded me of the lead from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Was a little side. Have you played Tears of the Kingdom yet? The new Zelda
Not
game.
not yet.
Ooh, it's so good.
Yeah,
It's somehow better than Breath of the Wild.
tell me,
Um,
don't tell me how good it is.
yeah, that's all I'll say. Moving on, we get Final Fantasy 16. Look, I'm already sold on this game. I was sold on this game when they showed it at the Game Awards. To know that like I had to wait another 6 months was like painful, but we're getting it next month. I feel like this trailer didn't show anything new. I feel like we could. I can't fucking speak today, but I feel like this should have been when they revealed or dropped the demo for it. Because I could be fucking playing this game right now. But, I mean, previews have gone up. Previews as in, like, people have been able to play it and give their first impressions without putting out their full reviews. And they say it's really damn good. They say it is, like, if there's any game that might rival Tears of the Kingdom for Game of the Year this year, it might be this. And I think that says a lot. I don't mean to put this game on a fucking pedestal and put it, like, above the fucking clouds, but, that means that this game might be getting tens across the board. But well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This looks really good. Here's the thing: they didn't need to show this. This game comes out in a month. So I don't know why they spent time showing this game, because they didn't need to show it at all. The only reason I thought they would show it, it would be, I mean, obviously Sony has like the exclusivity to the game. But the only reason I thought they would show the game here would be for the demo. that they did reveal is happening. And apparently it's going to be one of those demos where your save data carries over, which is fucking sick. I love those demos. Especially when it's a long game like this. This game's supposed to be pretty long. The game comes out in a week. This didn't need to be here. And it's like every time they show more of this game, it's always like the state of play for Final Fantasy 16 that happened a few months ago. I didn't even watch that. You know, I cannot wait for this game. I did not watch that because it's like I don't need to. Sorry, I kind of rambled on this a little bit. I fucking rambled about a game I'm excited for. What the fuck is wrong with me? But Greg, what are your thoughts on what we saw from Final Fantasy 16? Not that it was a bad trailer, but yeah. Sorry. What are your thoughts?
I'm still excited to see how this game is gonna perform. Don't know if I'll be picking it up at launch, but I'm definitely gonna play it.
Wanna know what's weird about this game? It comes out on a Thursday. That's weird.
Square Enix has been doing that from time to time. I've noticed they did it with Integrate on PS5, from what I remember.
Yeah, that's like, but that's like, my brain stopped working. That's like a fucking re-release though. This is like, why are they releasing it on a Thursday? And so
just companies are weird.
A little side tangent. I looked at some release dates. Mortal Kombat 1 comes out on like a Monday or something like that, and Starfield comes out on a Sunday. Well, like why?
Are they bringing back Mortal Monday? Because I actually looked at it as a Tuesday.
That actually would make sense.
That would be pretty funny if they did, though.
Or maybe I'm stupid and I can't fucking read the calendar. But sorry, we kind of went off on a tangent over there. ML, thoughts on Final Fantasy 16?
Looks really cool. The gameplay looks really polished. It's been a while since we got like the last one, right? It's been a couple of years, or
yeah. It's been, like I said earlier, it's been 7 years.
Damn, 7 years. Holy shit, that's weird.
Although to be fair, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'll go. This is kind of another tangent, so I'll let you finish.
Yeah, the gameplay looks really polished, and I don't know if I'll pick it up at launch, but I do want to try it one day.
You see, we were talking about how it's been 7 years since Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15, like, notoriously took a very long time to come out. Like, I think that game came out in 2016. I think that game started development in 2006. I think it was in development for 10 years. And like I said,
that long.
Yeah. And like I said earlier about how we're getting games that come out like it's been 5 years since Spider-Man on PS4, and we're finally getting the sequel. Even though it's been 7 years since we got 15, Final Fantasy 16 was only announced 3 years ago, and now it's coming out. Normally, I feel like lately it's always we're getting a game announced, and then like up to 5 years later it comes out. So yeah. That's that. Now we have we go on to the next game. A game I expected to see it sometime within this E3 not E3 season. I expected to see this at Summer Games Fest because it was revealed at the Game Awards a couple years ago. But Alan Wake 2 was here. We got a showcase. Like a nice look at the gameplay. One thing I didn't realize, I remember saying in our reaction, it looks like you play as not Alan Wake. It's about like you're searching for Alan Wake in this. And one thing I did not realize, apparently the director of the game is plays like one of the cops looking for Alan Wake. So that's interesting. And Alan Wake is a fantastic game. I would say it's like I would say I love it, but I feel like it doesn't really like it's like half a horror game. It's like suspenseful, but it doesn't. It's not. It's definitely not like heavy on scares and shit. This one definitely looks horror. it looks like a horror game. And it's coming out October 17th, was it?
Yeah, it's coming October. Just in
Makes
time for
sense.
Halloween.
Yeah, obviously October. I'm just, like looking for the actual like hard date.
Oh,
Yeah, 17th. And I'm excited for this. It's been. I want to talk about it being a while since the last Final Fantasy. Alan Wake 1 came out in 2011. It's been 12 years since we got the first Alan Wake. And this game wasn't supposed to take that long. This game's been in some development hell. So it's good to know it's finally coming out this year. I cannot wait. Greg, thoughts on Alan Wake 2?
We finally getting it. Don't know if I'll be getting around to touching it, but I'll see. I should play through, Alan Wake 1 beforehand.
Yeah. ML?
that's really cool. Yeah, I kind of I like horror games, so this looked really interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard of this series before, but looked cool.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, it's one game. And,
Uh,
well, I mean, this is the second game, but it's one game. And I don't think the first Alan Wake actually sold that well. I think it got popular later on after it came out. But, yeah. Next up is a game that a lot of people are excited for. I'm not, just because I'm not that big of a fan of the series, but I'm in a minority. Maybe I'm stuck in the early 2010s where it was popular to hate on this franchise because it's got a new fucking game every year and they were the same thing every year. But Assassin's Creed Mirage gets a release date of October 12th. And it gets a lot of gameplay. I will say, it does look cool. I just fucking said that about an Assassin's Creed game. I'm not gonna buy this. Maybe not at launch. Maybe not for a full $60 or $70. Or I think I saw that this game was $50. I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah. Obviously, I'm in a minority here. Assassin's Creed. A lot of people love Assassin's Creed. I'm not one of those people, but I'm happy for the people that are a fan of Assassin's Creed because from what I've heard, it seems like this game's going back to the original roots of this series. Greg, what are your thoughts on Assassin's Creed Mirage?
I have not really touched an Assassin's Creed game, surprisingly. Maybe I'll try with this one, but then again, there's so much they keep putting out year after year. As Call of Duty is to Activision, Assassin's Creed is for Ubisoft.
I feel like that was the case at one point, but they did pump the brakes on Assassin's Creed at a certain point. They've not done that with Call of Duty. Remember when the early 2010s where it was popular to hate on Call of Duty because it got a game every year, and Assassin's Creed because it got a game every year? Since then, there have been years without a new Assassin's Creed game. There has not been a single year without a new Call of Duty game. So, and there wasn't going to be a Call of Duty game this year, I remember. But then Activision's like, yeah, we change our mind. We're going to do a new Call of Duty game. But yeah. ML, thoughts on Assassin's Creed Mirage?
it looked really cool, especially. Yeah, the gameplay looked really cool.
All right.
And the graphics, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Next up, we get another indie game that kind of aesthetically looks kind of the same as some of the other games we've seen here. And look, I'm not bashing on these games. I'm not trying to. This game is Revenant Hill, by the way. Not trying to bash on these games, but again, this feels like a game that could have just been in a state of play. You know what I mean? This showcase kind of feels like a very long state of play, where it's a bunch of third-party indie games, and then a handful of really big heavy hitters. You know what I mean? And look, I don't hate. I love indie games, but like this is the PlayStation showcase, the first one in 2 years. I feel like they shouldn't have gone too crazy with indie games. Bless you. I think that sounded like a sneeze, but
It was.
okay. But yeah. So this game looked interesting. The cat kind of looks familiar. I feel like this is. I don't know. The cat kind of looks familiar. But yeah, it looks interesting. I don't have much to say about it. Greg, thoughts on Revenant Hill?
Don't have anything too crazy, honestly, for now.
All right. When I read Revenant Hill on this list, my mind for some reason thought Revenant said that said Resident, so I thought
Resident Evil, lol.
no, and no, I thought it mixed Resident Evil and Silent Hill. We got Resident Hill.
That'd be pretty funny, though.
Yeah. ML, thoughts on Revenant Hill?
Looks cool. Gameplay looks fine.
Yep.
Probably won't pick it up, but
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yep.
Next game. Greg's more of a fan of this than I am. So.
Grand Blue, hooray.
Yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I'll let Greg take this one.
Alright, give me just one sec. Just doing some quick typing. And now let me get back into the tab with you guys. So I kind of knew about this project already, but this is a more full reveal. This is a action RPG based on the popular mobile game Grand Blue Fantasy Connect, which more of you guys probably know for the fighting game iteration Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which dropped in 2020 on PS4 and PC. It was a free PS Plus game back in the fall, from what I remember. So this is one out of two projects we are supposed to be getting in coming years based on Grand Blue Fantasy Fantasy Link. So this is the first, and then the second one is Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising, which is a sequel to the first Versus game. I don't know if it's going to come out this year. If not, probably like early next year for all we know. Not gonna lie, I really do like the gameplay of this. I don't know if I'll pick it up day one, but I probably will pick it up eventually. It seems as if the English cast from the previous works of the Grand Blue games, they're going to be coming back, which makes me happy. So I'm sure it's going to get a good reception, and I cannot wait for this one. As I've said before, 2023 is probably going to be the year of Grand Blue as well.
All right. I don't really have anything to add. I don't know anything about Grand Blue. ML, anything to say about Grand Blue Fantasy Relink?
Looks nice, but like DPX, I don't really know anything about this game, so.
Yeah.
You could honestly just play Versus, and you might get to know a lot. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. Thing I added, you said Grand Blue Fantasy Versus was the PS Plus game, right?
Yeah, back in the fall.
I think I added that to the library once. I never installed it, but so yeah, maybe I'll play it. And yeah, next up, Street Fighter 6.
Just a trailer, nothing
Yeah.
special. Considering the game is coming in a week.
Yeah, and that's my issue. It's the same as Final Fantasy 16, but at least that comes out in a month. This one comes out in a week. And it's the same thing here. I don't, my issue here is we're getting the game in a week. Why are we seeing a full-ass fucking trailer? This might be the first time I've seen a Street Fighter 6 trailer and wasn't, kind of jumping with excitement. Because it's
We've seen already, we've had to, for the most part, honestly.
Yeah, we've seen basically, they've revealed everything. I was expecting if they're going to show it here, maybe, show us a DLC character, you know what I mean? But, no. So, I don't know why this was here. It was a good trailer. Once again, a good trailer. But, yeah, not much to say about it, really. The game comes out in a week, which I cannot fucking wait. But, yeah, I don't think it needed to be here. Greg, thoughts?
Mad Gearbox, here I come. I've been waiting for a long time for this one. So yeah, 250 down the drain. I don't know, probably not really. Just probably something I'm gonna be playing quite a bit this summer.
Yeah. And ML, thoughts on Street Fighter 6?
It looks pretty cool, but not really necessary to put here, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Um, Next up, um, was this game called Ultros. I forget. Oh, it was like this weird looking, colorful, like side scroller. Like, it was. I don't know if you can see it, but it was this game. That game. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this really. It kind of just happened. Um. Thoughts, Greg? Greg?
Yeah, what's up?
Thoughts on Ultros? I don't know what to say about it.
I don't have really much to say either, not gonna lie.
Yeah, ML.
Not much to say.
All right. Next up, we have Perfect World Games making a game called Tower of Fantasy. Uh, it looked interesting. We did get some gameplay. We did kind of get to see this game. You get to run around in mechs and stuff. Um, but yeah, it's like I don't. It was kind of there, you know. Um, Greg, thoughts on Tower of Fantasy?
Looked cool.
All right.
I think we're just starting to die out with this a little bit, not gonna lie.
Yeah, ML, thoughts on Tower of Fantasy?
That's nice.
Okay, we are so energetic right now, but no, but then I think it actually picks up with this next reveal, Dragon's Dogma 2. That was revealed last summer with just a fucking, just a logo, not even a CG trailer, just a logo. This time, we not only get more, we get a whole ass fucking gameplay. We get to see gameplay, which is really cool. We always talk about these companies, just revealing, putting out CG trailers that tell us nothing about how the game is going to play. Capcom doesn't really do that much.
As much as you think recently.
Yeah, like they'll announce a game, and then pretty soon after, they'll announce a game with a CG trailer or just a logo in this case, and pretty soon after, they'll put out some gameplay, and they're putting out gameplay for Dragon's Dogma 2, and it looks awesome. Dragon's Dogma is a sick game. I feel like Monster Hunter has kind of overtaken it. You know what I mean? Because they're kind of similar, but Dragon's Dogma, I think Dragon's Dogma was better. Yeah, we don't get a release date. I don't think it's coming out this year, although it would be pretty big if it came out this year. Yeah, I don't think it's coming out this year. Probably gonna come out next year. But yeah, Greg, thoughts on Dragon's Dogma 2?
I surprisingly do have the first game on Steam, the re-release Dark Arisen. I should probably play it if, it's dropping next year. And I actually have another code which I'm going to be giving away to a certain server as a first come, first serve. Just, to keep the hype going with this one. Because I think Dragon's Dogma does need maybe a little bit more love by some people.
Yeah. Because it was, critically acclaimed when it came out, but then,
Yeah, but then again, it became a, hidden gem in a sense.
Yeah. ML, thoughts on Dragon's Dogma 2?
I don't really know nothing about the game, so
Alright.
sorry.
But one game I'm sure you know about because I feel like everyone knows about it. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2.
Hey.
Hey.
Look, I know it's no longer a cool thing to hate on Five Nights at Freddy's. I get it's a bit of a meme game. And that's why half the people like it. I personally never found it scary. I never found it that good. And I don't know why it's getting console fucking releases. I don't mean to rain on your parade because you two seem pretty excited for this. I don't mean to rain on your parade. All right, don't let me do that. I'm just giving my opinion. I don't really have anything to say about it. It looked like it was VR, but it's not because next we went into VR, and they didn't really say that was VR. But we'll get to that. We'll get to my problems with the VR shit. Greg, thoughts on, or no, ML seemed excited, so we'll let ML take
Yeah,
this
ML
one
goes first.
Thoughts on FNAF Help Wanted 2?
Is this the one free? This one has VR, right?
I'm
Or
not
no.
sure. This is the one that we at least thought was VR.
I got confused.
It didn't say it was VR, so I don't think it is.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I can't wait for our theories to continue. I remember like all the like those game theory videos on FNAF, and
Yeah.
it's seeing the lore. That game does have lots of lore. I think that's why part of the reason why it's so loved
Mm-hmm.
is just amazing. So
Yeah.
and it's also because like all like YouTube is also big, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like more of a fun game to watch than play.
True. True.
Yeah,
I have watched some. I have watched this game or Five Nights at Freddy's before, and it's definitely more entertaining to watch. I didn't mean to cut
yeah.
you off there, ML.
Yeah, but okay, it's not much, there's nothing else if you want to say about that, but
Okay.
might pick it up.
Yeah. Greg, thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted?
Number 2. All
Yeah.
right, so I know Scott. He's retired from creating games, obviously, and he's given it to a new team, considering like recent releases. But I feel that they're still
Forgot
gonna
about
create
that.
some good. Bro, what is that noise? It's not on my end.
What noise?
Never mind. It's just audio picking up. Yeah. So back to what I was saying. Probably gonna still be like really good like security breach and whatnot. And then again, it's can't be like a better time to reveal this considering we're getting the movie in theaters and on Peacock in
True.
October.
Now, I've been pretty negative about Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, this is another side tangent. They're coming out with a movie, and I actually always thought a Five Nights at Freddy's movie could actually work very well. So, I
And it
am
looks like this one probably is.
I am interested in that movie. But yeah. Now we get into VR. And here's my issue with VR. I don't dislike the idea. I think, you know, I would get a VR headset if it wasn't fucking if it didn't cost me my entire life savings. But the problem is, A, it cost me my entire life savings, and B, there's nothing really worth it. Half-Life Alex, that's one thing, but that's on PC, and that's also like I don't think that's worth me picking up a fucking $600 headset. Um,
Not
but
like you
also,
pick up a computer.
yeah, but also, like, and PlayStation, they're just pumping this, and they have to, they're trying to sell it. But I see people online kind of like surprised that PSVR 2 hasn't sold very well. What are you surprised about? People are not going to buy a VR headset that costs more than a PS5 that doesn't even come with any games. But that's just what I think about that. Whoops, we disappeared. Now we're back. That's just what I think. We shut the fuck up, Discord. Why aren't you muted?
It's just me. It's just me. Sorry.
Shut up, Greg. Um, uh,
Guess I'm done for now.
um, now, okay. So we get Resident Evil 4 VR mode. We're gonna fly by these VR games.
Considering none of us have VR headsets.
Yeah. Now I did hear a lot of good things about every time we get a Resident Evil game in VR, I do hear great things about it. So this should actually be a really good VR experience. But I don't care. It's not gonna make me buy a VR headset. Arizona Sunshine 2 happened. I'm not even gonna ask you guys what you think because I don't know if you're gonna really even have anything. Crossfire Sierra Squad. I heard that this is the same team that made Crossfire X. Oof. Synapse. I don't even remember what this game was. Beat
It
Saber.
doesn't matter.
Now, Beat Saber, like I said, Beat Saber is actually a pretty cool game. I don't have VR, but I have played Beat Saber on another VR before, and Beat Saber is pretty cool. But yeah, DLC for Beat Saber.
With Queen music.
Yeah.
Okay, music
Cool.
you probably heard in the Sonic movies and the Frontiers trailer.
Next up, we get. Now we're done with VR, by the way. So next up, well, before we get there, like, why was VR this late in the presentation? That's what I'm wondering.
I remember the one that they had the Suicide Squad gameplay in. That was like, the earliest stuff they revealed was for PSVR. And then, it started ramping up with the actual games.
Yeah, and when they did the PSVR stuff, that still wasn't even the low light of the show. But anyways, that was a jab at Suicide Squad in case you guys were kind of stupid and didn't realize that. But so we get a new game from Bungie, and we thought it was Destiny, but as it turns out, it's not Destiny. It's Marathon. So this is Bungie making a new game that's not Destiny, which is very rare that we see. Apparently Marathon is like a franchise. I didn't know that. So pretty cool. They're Bungie's bringing back one of their older franchises. We don't really. Did we even get gameplay for this? I don't think we got gameplay.
I think it was mostly cinematics, this one, from what I remember.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool that they're doing this. I almost want to just get it just because Bungie's not being held down by Activision or whoever the fuck, or Microsoft, and they're allowed to just do whatever they want. They're allowed to not just do Halo or not just do Destiny. They can do they can now do Marathon. Greg, thoughts on Marathon?
For a not Destiny game from Bungie, it looks really good. And also, now they realize this is their first, IP they're making under PlayStation Studios.
True, yeah. Yeah, ML, thoughts on Marathon?
Pretty good. Pretty cool.
Alright.
I mean, pretty me off the game, but it was fun.
Yeah. Next up, we get some Destiny 2, the Final Shape DLC. This sounds like it could be like the end to Destiny 2. And like I said,
Good.
I'm sure this game has really turned it around from its release, but I like every time I it's like every single PlayStation presentation, every Summer Games Fest, every Gamescom, every Game Awards, every E3 when that happens, there's a Destiny 2 expansion trailer. And every single time I'm like, this game is still being supported. So that's why I'm excited that Bungie's making Marathon, because they're not at this point I would actually be excited if they do Destiny 3, because they've been on Destiny 2 for a fucking very long time.
Since 2017.
Yeah. Alright, so next up we get this next game. PlayStation Studios Firewalk is making this game. They're pretty good. And we get this fucking CG trailer for a game called Concord. This is reminding me of when Xbox announced Contraband. Anyone remember Contraband?
A little / barely.
Yeah. It's we don't know what it is. It's a new IP, but it was a CG trailer. It didn't even have any characters or anything. It didn't have any sort of bad guy in them. At least with all the other CG trailers, they kind of tell us a bit about at least the game's story, maybe, even if it's a lie. It's give us some action. This was literally a ship going into fucking hyperspace or whatever. From inside the ship, we saw it from the inside. It's not even what do we say about Concord? I'm what? Yeah, Greg, thoughts on Concord?
I like the visuals, but we really do need to see more before we know what we're getting into.
Yeah. ML, thoughts on Concord?
Same as Greg, like the visuals, but I'd like to see more.
Yeah. Next up, we get. I really did not like this. Look, the Gran Turismo movie looks pretty good. I'm gonna see that when it comes out. Why the fuck is it? I know why it's here. Because it's PlayStation. PlayStation Studios, as in like the movie producer, the movie company. But look, we want to see this. ML can we can hear that. But want to see a trailer for the. At least they didn't do a whole bunch of their. At least they didn't do a whole bunch of their movie trailers. You know, they didn't show a trailer for the Gran Turismo movie and then show a trailer for the Twisted Metal show, and then show a trailer for they didn't do that.
Yeah, that would have made more sense, honestly, than what we got. With just, the one thing for Gran Turismo.
No, I'm saying it makes more sense that they did the one thing, but it would have made more sense if they didn't show any movies or shows, if they just kept it at video games. But look, the Gran Turismo movie looks good and all. Why are you showing a movie trailer? I get it's based on a video game, but still, it's a movie trailer at this video game showcase. I hate it when companies do that. Okay. Well, the movie looks good. Greg, what do you think about the Gran Turismo movie?
Don't know if I'll see it, but I do like the story and how it's based on a true story. But, this kid gets good at video games so good he actually becomes part of Formula One racing.
Yeah. ML, thoughts on the Gran Turismo movie? Or is he busy?
It's like a fun movie.
Okay.
I'll see it when it comes out. Not on opening day, but I'll see it eventually. Yes, that's fun.
Yeah. Then next up was something like we've been hearing about, but I didn't think was gonna be at the showcase. I didn't think we were gonna see any new hardware at this showcase, but I'm wrong. We got the PlayStation Project Q. It still doesn't sound like it has an official title, but
Could be called PlayStation Q. I've heard names of like Q Lite from what leaks on Reddit.
yeah, but
whatnot.
the fact that it's still is this the only time where we get an official reveal of a console or like a hardware, but gets revealed with its code name? Has that ever happened before?
I'm trying to recall. Maybe a little bit, in a sense. Not really.
Because when they first showed
Considering,
off
wait, were you saying Switch?
yeah, when they first showed off the
Okay.
Switch, like we knew before that we knew it as the NX, but like when they showed it off, they called it the Switch.
Gotta love those days, honestly.
But yeah, Project Q, it looks cool and all. It's not like a lot of people wanted maybe like a successor to the PS Vita. This isn't quite that. It's also not quite a portable PS5. It kind of is, but like you need a PS5 in order to use this, which I think kind of defeats the purpose of this thing. It's from what it seems like a portable, like an extra controller for the PS5 that you can also take with you anywhere, but as long as you have like a cloud gaming connection. All this sounds cool. If they keep it at a reasonable price, hell, if they even keep it at maybe 150, I might get it. Maybe.
They're not gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna.
I don't think so, but
Probably not.
Justice, the Wii U #2. I thought the Steam Deck connecting to PC was Wii U 2, but this is truly the Wii U 2.
yeah. At least you can fucking like leave the room that has the console in it.
Kinda.
But yeah, there was that, and then they announced PlayStation earbuds, which was kind of weird. Why would
Yeah, are they gonna pack it with the device or
I'm
whatnot?
assuming that's for the device, right?
Say again? ML?
He asked if it was for the device for the Project Q.
Oh, I don't. That would make sense, actually. I didn't even think about that. Um,
And
Like
then it
if
also
you're
works
like
on
you're playing it, no
PS5.
one like could hear you, basically.
yeah, but if that's the case, I feel like it should just have a headphone jack on it.
I guess
But
so. Yeah, that'd be
Probably
smart.
does somewhere,
But people
considering
want
the
their money.
DualSense has it.
yeah,
But they want their money. Yeah, they want money. So
yeah.
Then again, Razer has like PS earbuds that they sell in their stores and online.
hmm
yeah, yeah.
This is so. This is pretty cool, I'd say. I don't know. I look. I'll wait till I find out more information on this. Um, Especially since it seems more like an extra portable controller for the PS5 instead of like a portable PS5. But I'll wait and see. It looks it looks a little weird. It kind of looks like a Nintendo Switch without the Joy Cons. Instead of the Joy Cons, you have like a PS5 controller, kind of just broken in half and put and glued to the sides. But yeah, Greg, thoughts on the PlayStation Q, Project Q Lite, whatever the fuck they're gonna call it.
All right, so this is another one I've been keeping up with leaks on Reddit and whatnot, and I guess the leaks in a sense were kind of right. It's they just slice a PS5 controller and attach like an iPad to it.
Is
Then
that
again,
is that what the leaks said? Did I just quote
it
the
is
leaks?
similarly, yeah.
I didn't even look at
They
the
had
leaks.
patents. They had
Yeah.
patents for it, and it's literally like this big tablet and then just small controller pieces on the side. And we're also living in a world where PlayStation cross backbone exists for like iPhone, Android, and whatnot.
hmm
I mean, if it's a good price, maybe I'll pick it up and see how it is. Because maybe PS5 cloud streaming, okay, but maybe you could download your games from you bought from the PS store and just bring those with you wherever you can. As for the earbuds, maybe I'll see how those will turn out. Because, we live in a world where wireless earbuds keep changing like every single day, no matter what.
Yeah, but also let's be real. Those earbuds are gonna cost at least $10 more than they should. But
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The
nice.
Razer ones, I think, are 250 if I'm correct. So they could be in a similar range. But we will see.
ML, thoughts on the PlayStation Project Q Lite, Q whatever.
So I have
Oh,
like no idea. I haven't been like keeping up with the system. But is it like a new thing or like it's like a new system like completely or
no, it seems like a portable PS5. So like you play PS5 games on there, but you need a PS5 in order to play. I think it's like obviously you don't put the discs in the fucking thing in the system, so that's probably why you need like some sort of internet connection or something in order to
yeah,
play
yeah.
it. I didn't really think. I just
Probably.
thought of that now, but yeah. Final thoughts.
No, nothing.
All
Nada.
right. Now, for what might have honestly saved this presentation, I know, Greg, your highlight was Snake Eater, but
And all of Metal Gear. You can go.
but let's be real. If the showcase didn't end on this on what they showed for Spider-Man 2, it would have been disappointing. Although if they ended it on Snake Eater, I feel like that would have been strong. But we left a better taste in our mouths after showing us Spider-Man 2. I saw the upload of just this trailer on its own. It's a 10-minute long trailer. 10 minutes. That's crazy.
It was a good 10. It was a good 10 minutes.
The best.
Yeah, it was.
The best 10 minutes of this showcase.
Yeah.
We get an opening thing with Kraven the Hunter. It was kind of like speculation, like what was the narrator in the trailer Kraven the Hunter, but it was never actually confirmed. At least I don't think it was. Now it's confirmed. Kraven the Hunter is in this game, and he seems to be like the main villain. So that's really cool. And then it shows us Peter with the symbiote, which that's really cool. I feel, um, and then so we see all that happen. You can just switch between Peter and Miles. That's really cool. And Miles has like all the powers from Miles Morales and all that. Like, look, I think Spider-Man on PS4 is the best Spider-Man game, the best Marvel game, and behind behind the Arkham series for the best superhero game. Um,
Hmm.
and I think Miles Morales it's a holdover game, but it is one of the best holdover games I have ever played. Um, People are saying that Spider-Man 2 might not get 10s across the board. I think what we're going to have here, this might be me hyping it up a little too much, but we might have a Batman Arkham Asylum Arkham City situation here, where Arkham Asylum got like it was praised very highly, but then Arkham City came out and like perfected what Asylum did and
Hmm.
got 10s across the board. I think that might happen here. That's just me being hopeful. Um, it's this game's easily my most anticipated game for like the second half of the year. Normally halfway through the year, I like to update my most anticipated games list, and I'll be doing that. I think it's an early spoiler to tell you that this is going to be number one. But yeah, the combat looks amazing. The visuals look really cool, and like you definitely this is not coming to PS4. This is PS5 only, and I think that's good because look, I love the PS4, but I think it's time to move on. Especially since did you guys know the PS4 and the Xbox One turned 10 years old this year? I feel
Damn.
old. I feel old. Just
Nah, we're all boomers, honestly, considering.
yeah. So this looks amazing. It looks like more of the same, but I feel like playing as Miles Morales, who has his own abilities, and then having the symbiote, and rumors of being able to play as Venom, which
And
those
It's unlikely, but it would be cool.
honestly, I think those rumors might have came from being able to play as Spider-Man in the symbiote. So I cannot wait for this game. It is a little disappointing though that they didn't give it a release date. They just said fall. Um, and there have been persistent rumors of September. Then I heard about October. Then I heard about November. And look, I feel like them saying fall means that they're confident it's going to come out this year, but they're not 100%. And I feel like I don't know. We're getting towards summer. In fact, you can even almost say we're at summer, and the next season is fall. So you gotta chop on that, and you gotta tell us the release date. You know, but that's what I think. Greg, thoughts on Spider-Man 2?
A little disappointing we didn't get like a true release date, but from what we saw, it's definitely more the same with like story wise in a sense. But I really really like it, and probably this is gonna be my PS game of the year 2023. Like I'm really anticipating this game, like the rest of you guys, and probably the whole world.
Yep.
But whenever we get it, we get it. Just the story, I like how it's a little different with like the hunting and all. But we will probably see more in the coming months, weeks, days, whatever, with how Insomniac and Sony are planning it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, we're definitely gonna get more and more reveals. I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Sony's still gonna be at Summer Games Fest, so maybe we can get something on this game there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more, like, stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah. ML, thoughts on Spider-Man 2?
I really liked the combat and everything. It looked very clean, especially with the Miles Morales one.
Yeah.
How he fought and was it what's the daughter Spider-Man's name?
Uh, Peter?
I Peter, but like I guess like how the first Spider-Man we saw how he played. I really like what was it? Seems also this game like I don't know if the other one has this, but it had like stealth in it, which seemed really cool.
Yeah. The
And the
stealth
Depict looked really cool
sections.
as well.
Yeah, the stealth sections kind of drag the game down a little bit.
Mm.
But this one, the stealth sections, like you do it as like the Spider-Man, you know. So
Yeah.
it looks like there's going to be combat involved. So yeah. Final thoughts on Spider-Man 2?
I'm looking forward to it.
Looks very
Just
clean.
give
Yep.
it to us sooner than later.
Mm-hmm. And that does it for the PlayStation Showcase. So overall, I was afraid that we were hyping it up a little too much. We kind of were, to be honest. I feel like no amount of I feel like no showcase could have lived up to the hype that was around this one. But I don't know. Like I said earlier, it felt like a lot of these games could have been in a regular state of play. This felt like a very long state of play, as opposed to a PlayStation showcase.
Mm.
It was like 20 minutes of fucking phenomenal stuff, fucking bangers, and 40 minutes of just who cares, you know. I kind of wish it was the other way around. It should have been 40 minutes of bangers, 20 minutes of just who cares. You know what I mean?
Maybe all the third party companies are just saving that for Summer Game Fest when that happens.
Yeah, but also like Sony had other like, well, what's going on with The Last of Us, the factions thing?
And part 3 possibly, from what I've been hearing now.
That's don't trust those. That's not happening anytime soon. But
Never know.
I have an idea that that's not happening anytime soon. But like whatever happened to factions? Like I think that game's slated for this year. How about Twisted Metal? They got this show coming out this year. So
Remake would be nice.
also, it's a little side note. I think it's weird that they're making a Twisted Metal show in 2023. Just saying. But yeah, and also some other I was expecting us to get like a release date for Stellar Blade and the Silent Hill 2 remake, and those were nowhere to be found. I'm kind of getting a little iffy if either of those games are coming out in 2023 at all. And like I thought, if Lil Devil Inside isn't here, it's not happening, and that game's getting canceled. Not looking good for that game. What the fuck is even up with Lil Devil Inside? That was supposed to be a launch title for the PS5. But yeah, look, this is like only the first of all the not E3 season, as I like to call it now. You know, E3 ain't coming back, but we got all these showcases. We got Summer Games Fest coming up. We got we'll have Xbox showcase. I think tomorrow there's gonna be like THQ is doing something for the Alone in the Dark remake, and that game seems interesting. But yeah, Greg, thoughts on the state of play? You see, it's not a state of play, but it kind of felt like one. But
PlayStation Showcase.
yeah, thoughts on the PlayStation Showcase overall?
Metal Gear and Spider-Man carry this whole thing, to be honest.
Yes.
Not gonna lie.
I think, yeah, okay. I think like the God tier stuff was Metal Gear and Spider-Man. I think just below that were like Alan Wake and Dragon's Dogma. And yeah, ML, final thoughts on the showcase?
Yeah, I felt like was the God tier Spider Man and Metal Gear, but yeah, the rest kind of felt like just like there, like no real purpose,
Mm-hmm.
just I guess like maybe like filler for like the bigger stuff that was coming up. So I
Yeah.
felt like to me, just pretty much like filler.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the right word, but whatever.
Well, I mean, like a lot of the games in here, I feel like did kind of feel like filler games in like a normally packed showcase. You know, you get all
Yeah.
these heavy hitters, and then every now and then you gotta throw in like a smaller indie game, uh,
Mhm.
just to fill out time. You know. But yeah, that's our thoughts on the PlayStation showcase. I didn't think we would go that long, but we went for an hour and a half, so we're gonna wrap this up. Uh, Greg, thanks for stopping by. Where can people
Welcome
find
as
you?
always. All right, so as usual, my channel's in the description of the VOD on YouTube. There you can follow my socials: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and whatnot. I uploaded some new stuff, including a full reaction of the showcase featuring these two,
Yeah, all three
and
of
Yep.
and
us.
my fir- and my fir- and my first YouTube short regarding the Snake Eater moment.
Yep. I haven't seen
Oh
your.
yeah, there's also Mario things as well, like 2 Mario videos with like sing-alongs and whatnot.
Yeah, we were at Ryan's party, and it was a bunch of people singing along to Peaches. Uh,
Mhm.
I,
Anthinator captured that as well from
Yeah,
his POV.
I wasn't singing along because I didn't think it was gonna fucking go up on YouTube. If I knew that, I would have participated. But yeah,
Fine.
so yeah, that's Greg, the video game nut. Everyone, ML, thanks for stopping by. Where can people find you? Anything you'd like to plug?
You can find me at MO playing 4388. The channel might be rebranding soon, or
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know if that's the right word, but I might like be renaming it soon. And I do have one video coming up. Stay tuned.
Yes, he does actually. I know what it is.
Yeah, it does.
Unfortunately, I couldn't make it there, but yeah, go definitely
Yep.
check
Yeah,
that
neither
out.
can I.
Yeah, definitely check that out when it comes out though, because from what
Yeah.
I've heard about it, it sounds like a lot of fun.
It'll be a group of like it's gonna be like me with like other YouTubers who are not part of the
Yeah,
Miikcast. Team up to make a
but
video.
even for you guys watching, even some Miikcast members will be in there if I am correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely subscribe to ML or whatever he's gonna be renaming his channel to, uh, so you can see what he has in store. And of course, you have me, DPX Solo, on YouTube. Twitch. If you're watching live, you're already on Twitch, but it says 0 viewers. So look at that. No one's watching live. Sad.
Zello.
Uh,
Wow.
um,
That hurts.
Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. I doubt it fucking does anything because I'm not paying for a blue check mark. But you can follow me on Twitter still. Instagram where I post updates about videos and stuff on there. And you know, I have my podcast DPX Talks for about an hour on SoundCloud. And I have other channels, DP Extra, D3PX. I've been thinking of maybe rebranding D3PX, turning it into something like something else, because I technically have two extra channels, and they both kind of serve the same purpose, and I don't really like that. And this is like I've plugged this so many times today. I feel, but subscribe to the Shorts channel, DPX Solo Shorts. And yeah, that'll be this episode of Chillin with the Miikcast. We'll be back. I don't think we're going to be back until Summer Games Fest happens, where we talk
Yep.
about that. That's going to be a much longer episode because Summer Games Fest, there's going to be a lot more that happens there.
Hmm.
I mean, have you guys seen the list of publishers and developers that are
Yeah,
going to be
I
there?
have.
We're gonna be talking about that for a while. But yeah, we'll be back. By the way, Miikcast Tournament Live. I forgot to mention this. Miikcast Tournament Live. Stay tuned for some information on that. All right, see you guys.
Happy
I guess.
gaming.